You ever notice how life acts like it has a personal grudge against your peace? You're sitting there, minding your own business, eating your breakfast like a responsible adult, and then boom, one message, one comment, one tiny inconvenience, and suddenly your entire mood is on fire. Like, why does a slow Wi-Fi connection feel like a spiritual attack? Why does one rude person have the power to ruin an entire day? It's ridiculous. And here's the crazy part. The strongest people aren't the ones who avoid problems. They're the ones who stop letting problems control their insides. That's Stoicism, the art of becoming mentally undefeatable. Let me guess, you're tired. And I don't mean, I stayed up too late scrolling through reels tired. I mean mentally exhausted from constantly reacting to things you never asked for. Like you wake up every day thinking, today, I will be calm. Today, I will be peaceful. Today, I will be a Zen monk. And then life hears you and says, oh really? Next thing you know, someone takes your parking spot. Your boss emails you with, can we talk? And your brain instantly starts preparing your resignation letter and your apology letter at the same time. You ever have those days where the smallest thing flips your mood? Like someone chewing loudly, or a notification popping up while you're trying to focus, or that one friend who replies to your 3-paragraph message with, okay. Sometimes it feels like your emotions are running around unsupervised, pressing random buttons inside your brain. And you're just there like, can someone call security? And the worst part? You keep thinking, why am I like this? Why can't I just stay calm? You've tried motivation. You've tried ignoring your feelings. You've tried the whole, I don't care anymore routine, which, let's be honest, lasted about 4 hours. It's not that you're weak. It's not that you're overly sensitive. It's that no one ever taught you how to run your own mind. You learned trigonometry, the water cycle, and the capital of random countries you'll never visit, but not how to handle stress, pressure, or people who test your patience for sport. If any of this sounds like your life, congratulations, you're in the right video. Now let's talk about the mistakes. Not your fault, by the way, just the default human settings we all come with. The first big mistake people make is what I call the maybe life will behave today strategy, which basically means waking up every morning and praying the universe is in a good mood. Like, I hope nobody annoys me. I hope traffic is smooth. I hope my coworker doesn't breathe too loudly again. I hope nothing unexpected happens today. My friend, that's not a plan. That's wishful thinking with extra seasoning. Then there's the second mistake, confusing emotional strength with emotional suppression. People think Stoicism means becoming a stone. Like, nothing affects me. I feel no pain. I am a rock. I am a mountain. Meanwhile, internally, they're 2 minutes away from screaming into a pillow. This is why so many people try that I don't care anymore phase. You know, the one where you pretend you're unfazed by everything. Until one small thing happens, like someone bumping your shopping cart, and suddenly you're in a full emotional earthquake thinking, why is everyone out to get me? Another classic mistake is thinking you can control the world if you just try hard enough. People attempt to manage other people's moods, reactions, opinions, expectations, basically trying to be the emotional admin of the entire planet. Spoiler, it doesn't work. You can't even get your phone's autocorrect to behave. You really think you can control other humans? And of course, the gold medal mistake. Overreacting instantly. Zero pause. Zero thought. Just pure emotional speedrunning. Something happens and your brain hits reply faster than a toddler grabbing candy. Later you're like, why did I say that? Why did I send that paragraph? Why did I argue with that stranger online for 45 minutes? Because most people don't choose their reactions choose them. See, the problem isn't that life is chaotic. The problem is that we keep trying to fight chaos with more chaos. Or we try to avoid it altogether, which is impossible unless you plan to move into a cave and stop interacting with humans. Most self-help advice fails because it tells you to stay positive, let it go, or just don't overthink. Okay, cool. But how? What do I do when my mind starts acting like a dramatic soap opera? And that's exactly why Stoicism hits different, because it actually gives you tools instead of empty slogans. So, why do we even want to be mentally strong? Why do we chase calmness, control, and that mythical inner peace everyone keeps posting inspirational quotes about? It's not because we want to be emotionless robots. It's not because we want to look strong in front of people. And it's definitely not because we enjoy pretending everything is fine when it clearly isn't. The real goal is actually very simple. We want freedom. Freedom from overthinking every tiny thing. Freedom from reacting to people's moods like a remote control toy. Freedom from letting bad days ruin good weeks. Freedom from constantly feeling like life is dragging us around by the collar. At the end of the day, every time you say, I want to be more calm, or I wish things didn't affect me so much, what you're actually saying is, I want control over my own mind. You want clarity. You want emotional independence. You want to live in a world that can shake you, but never break you. And that's exactly what Stoicism gives you. The freedom to stay centered no matter what storms show up. The Stoic operating system: master your mind, not the world. All right, let's break down the real engine behind Stoicism, the part that actually makes you undefeatable. And don't worry, this isn't going to be one of those overcomplicated philosophy class, but in HD explanations. We're doing this in human language, with a little sarcasm sprinkled in, because why not? The fundamental Stoic idea. At its core, Stoicism revolves around one painfully simple insight. There are things you control and things you don't. Your job? Stop wasting your energy on the second category. Sounds basic, right? But this alone could save you from 90% of your stress, drama, and unnecessary emotional gymnastics. Let's unpack it without using any ancient scrolls. Part 1. Control what's truly yours. Picture your mind as a house. Stoicism basically hands you the blueprint and says, listen, these 4 rooms, you own them. The rest? Off limits. Stop trying to redecorate your neighbor's kitchen. Here are the 4 rooms you actually control. 1. Your thoughts. You can choose what you focus on. You can choose the story you tell yourself. You can choose how you interpret the situation. Someone gives you a weird look? Old you. They hate me. Stoic you. They probably just remembered they left the stove on. 2. Your actions. You control what you do. The energy you show up with. How you behave. What effort you put in. Life says, here's a problem. Your choice is whether you solve it or spiral dramatically like a telenovela character. 3. Your attitude. 2 people go through the same difficulty. One melts. One grows. The difference isn't luck, it's attitude. 4. Your effort. You can't control outcomes, but you can control input. You can't force success, but you can create conditions for it. Stoics care about the process, not the applause. Part 2. Let go of what's not yours. Now the part nobody likes, letting go of control. People waste ridiculous amounts of energy trying to manage things that are not, and will never be, under their control. Other people's opinions. Other people's mood. The past. The future. Traffic. Weather. Economy. Delays. Random inconveniences. That one cousin who never returns borrowed money. Stoicism basically puts a hand on your shoulder and says, my friend, this is not your job. Stop taking responsibility for the universe. Imagine how much lighter you'd feel if you stopped taking things personally that have nothing to do with you. Your coworker snaps at you? Not your problem. Their stress is leaking. That's all. Your plan gets ruined by something unexpected? Annoying, yes, but still not in your control. Someone lies about you. You fix what you can, then release the rest. Their narrative isn't your identity. Letting go isn't weakness. It's strategy. Part 3. The power of perspective. Change the frame. Change the game. A huge part of Stoicism is reframing. Not lying to yourself. Not being delusional. Just looking at the same problem from a smarter angle. You spill coffee on yourself? You can either say, my day is ruined. Or, well, at least it wasn't hot enough to send me to the ER. Your gym session felt weak? You can think, I failed. Or, that's another rep in the consistency bank. Your crush leaves you on read. You can think, they don't care. Or, they probably don't know how to reply to my 72-word essay. Stoicism teaches you that your story shapes your emotion. Change the story, change the feeling. Part 4. Emotional autonomy. You choose your reaction. The most powerful Stoic principle is this. You cannot control what happens, but you always control how you react. Read that again. Tattoo it on your forehead mentally. Because this one truth separates people who crumble from people who rise. Something stressful happens. Your brain's first reaction is pure instinct, fear, panic, anger, insecurity. But Stoicism teaches you to pause, just for a moment, because between stimulus and response, there's a tiny space where freedom lives. Someone insults you? You don't fire back instantly. You pause. Let your brain reboot. Then you choose your reaction intentionally. That tiny gap, that microsecond, is where emotional strength is built. Part 5. Turn challenges into training, the Stoic gym. Here's a mindset shift that will flip your life upside down in a good way. Every hardship is emotional weightlifting. Someone annoys you? Rep 1. Unexpected stress. Rep 2. Plans ruined. Rep 3. A day full of inconveniences. Congrats, you just completed leg day, reality edition. Stoics don't avoid difficulties. They use them. Imagine treating every stressful moment as a training session for mental toughness. Ugh, this person is being difficult. Good. Patience training. This didn't go according to plan. Good. Flexibility training. I feel anxious about the future. Good. Acceptance training. Life becomes your personal gym. The heavier the weights, the stronger you get. If you lift instead of collapse. Part 6. The internal battlefield, where real strength is built. Stoicism teaches that the real war is never outside. It's not with people. It's not with circumstances. It's not with bad luck. The real war is your thoughts, your interpretations, your triggers, your imagination running wild, your fear of what if, your tendency to take everything personally. Once you master the internal world, the external world becomes much easier. A storm outside can't sink a ship unless it gets inside the ship. Stoicism is reinforcing your hull. Part 7. Emotional strength is not equal to emotional numbness. A huge misconception is that Stoicism means being cold. No, Stoics feel emotions deeply, but they don't let emotions hijack the steering wheel. It's the difference between I'm sad, break everything, versus I'm sad, but I can still act wisely. Stoicism doesn't kill emotions. It trains them. You feel the emotion. You observe it. You understand it. And then you choose your response with clarity. That's real strength. Not pretending nothing affects you, but not letting anything control you. Part 8. The Stoic superpower, becoming unshakable. When you apply these principles daily, something incredible happens. You stop getting emotionally dragged around by life. Bad days. You handle them. Rude people. You stay centered. Unexpected problems. You adjust calmly. Failures. You learn, not collapse. People start wondering, how are you so calm? How do you not get bothered? Why don't you break under pressure? Because you trained your mind. Because you know what's yours to control. Because you respond intentionally, not react impulsively. That's what being undefeatable means. Not that you never fall, but that nothing can keep you down. Imagine this. It's Monday morning. You wake up feeling surprisingly good. Like suspiciously good. You're ready to start the week like a successful adult. You're humming. You're productive. You're hydrated. Everything is going too well. And then you check your phone. Of course. There it is, a message from that one person who could ruin the mood of a golden retriever. Maybe it's your boss sending a long paragraph at 8:02 a.m. Maybe it's a friend asking for a tiny favor that somehow turns into a 3-hour mission. Maybe it's someone sending a passive-aggressive because you didn't reply for 12 minutes. Whatever it is, the peace you had, gone. Like someone just leaned into your head and flipped the panic mode switch. Your brain starts spiraling. Why would they say that? Did I do something wrong? Why is life like this? You're pacing around the room like you're preparing for a boxing match with an invisible opponent. Now pause. Let's rewind this scene and play the Stoic version. You wake up, same good mood, same annoying message. But this time, instead of going full emotional meltdown, you take a breath. You ask yourself the golden Stoic question. Is this in my control? If the answer is no, the tone of the message, the timing, the sudden stress, you mentally toss it into the not my circus, not my monkey's box. You respond calmly, or you wait, or you ignore it. Whatever is required, but your internal world stays untouched. And guess what? Your day keeps going. Your mood stays steady. You stay in charge. Same situation, different version of you. That's what becoming undefeatable looks like. Not the absence of problems, but the absence of unnecessary suffering. All right, let's turn all this wisdom into something you can actually use today. Here are a few Stoic habits that don't require robes, sandals, or living on a mountaintop. 1. The 2-column check, mine/not mine. Whenever something stresses you out, pause and mentally sort it. Is this in my control or not? If it's yours, like your reaction, your effort, your choices, handle it. If it's not, like someone's mood, past mistakes, or random chaos. Let it pass. This one habit alone cuts your suffering in half. 2. The 10-minute delay rule. Before reacting to anything emotional, a text, a comment, a situation, give yourself 10 minutes. You'll be amazed at how many things magically stop feeling like emergencies. 3. Ask the Stoic question, will this matter in 5 days? Most things feel huge in the moment, but irrelevant a week later. If future you won't care, present you doesn't need to panic. 4. Practice micro-discomfort. Take cold showers, wait a little extra before eating, walk without your headphones sometimes. Tiny doses of controlled discomfort make real-life chaos feel like nothing. 5. Do one thing slowly every day. Drink your tea slowly, walk slowly, breathe slowly, anything. Training your mind to slow down builds resistance against overthinking. 6. Daily reset. At the end of the day, ask yourself, what did I control well today? What wasted my peace? This reflection upgrades your mindset automatically. None of these steps are complex, but together, they build a version of you who stays steady while the world throws tantrums around you. Here's a Stoic hack that's both simple and ridiculously effective. I call it the time travel rule. Whenever something annoys or frustrates you, ask yourself, will this matter in 5 hours? 5 days? 5 years? Think about it. Your phone dies in the middle of scrolling TikTok. 5 hours? Maybe. 5 days? 0. Someone cuts you off in traffic. 5 hours? Annoying. 5 years. You probably won't even remember the car's color. Your friend forgets your birthday. 5 hours? A little sting. 5 days. Minor. 5 years. You'll laugh about it, or at least shrug. This trick works because it forces your brain to zoom out. Perspective is a mental superpower. It automatically separates the trivial from the important. And once you see how small most things really are, emotional reactions shrink dramatically. Bonus. Pair this with a small pause before responding to anything stressful. Time travel plus pause equals double whammy of calmness. You start responding instead of reacting. Your brain remembers the pattern. Soon enough, you'll naturally choose peace over panic. And trust me, people will notice. It's like giving your mind a skip intro button for drama. So here's the truth. Life isn't suddenly going to stop being chaotic. People won't magically become nicer, traffic won't disappear, and your emails probably won't write themselves. But you can become someone who doesn't get dragged around by every little thing. Someone who pauses instead of panicking. Someone who responds instead of reacts. Someone who turns everyday annoyances into opportunities to train calm, patience, and focus. That's what Stoicism really does. It doesn't give you a perfect life, but it gives you a perfectly trained mind. It's the difference between drowning in drama and surfing through it with style. If this video helped you see a new way to handle stress, chaos, or overthinking, take a small step today. Try the time travel rule or the pause technique next time life tests you. And hey, if you want more practical mindset hacks, life tips, and productivity tricks without the boring lecture vibe, stick around. Hit subscribe, and let's keep leveling up your inner strength together. Remember, calm isn't weakness. Calm is power. Stay undefeated.